What is up everyone? Welcome back to another video. Grab a coffee, join me, let's have a conversation. This video, I'm going to speak a bit about a topic I've been thinking about a lot recently, and this is the idea of movement sovereignty. This is a topic that is pretty much never talked about, is definitely overlooked in different forms of training, athleticism, rehab in particular, which is kind of where I want to put the focus today, on this idea of movement sovereignty. So movement sovereignty is, some people when they hear it, there's like, why the hell are you talking about sovereignty and movement? Like, what is the connection here? And it depends on how you want to look at this, but there's a really strong connection, I feel, between having control and having authority over your own body and how it moves. And this is an idea that I never really became super aware of until recently. But when I look back on my own journey through 6 years of chronic pain, chronic injuries, and surgeries, this is a theme that started to develop along the way that actually has been probably the most empowering thing that's got me to where I am now. And just to backtrack a little bit, to have movement sovereignty, for me, what that means is having the awareness and also being the ruler over your own body. And I think that this is extremely important for every person, no matter if you're someone who's dealing with pain, if you're a high-level athlete and you just want to improve your performance. I think having this sovereign ruling over your body and understanding what your body needs is probably the most important. And this is slightly different from freedom. I speak a lot about movement freedom, moving effortlessly, and that's like separately, but I think that this sovereignty is an important component of achieving that, okay? And just to give you, an example of myself and how I've applied this into myself. For years, I was going to physiotherapists, I was working with trainers and coaches, and I was always following what they were telling me. But I never had the awareness, I never had the basic understanding of, is this actually what my body needs? And having sovereignty over your own movement doesn't mean that you don't find someone who can help or work with a coach who can help you. But what it does mean is that you have a baseline understanding of what your body needs, what your body should be able to do, and what it can't do at that particular moment in time. And that means that you can now open that conversation with a therapist, with a chiropractor, with a coach around finding the best solution for long-term and permanent change, because we've got so far away from this sovereignty over our own bodies, this deep inherent intuition, this physical intuition that we all have but have all lost. When you were a baby, for example, nobody taught you how to move. You explored, you were curious, you pushed the limits on things, you tried things. But now in our modern world, we're so focused on, we need to be told what to do and we need to have a research study before we can do this. Or if we feel like something is right for our bodies, we need to first look at what are the sets and reps that I need to do, and should I do it before my workout? Should I do it as a warm-up? And all these kind of questions come into our head and we lose touch and we completely disconnect from, okay, well, what does my body want to do now? Like, I get a lot of questions from people online and in person around, is it good to do mobility work before or after my training? Or what should I do for this muscle, this tight muscle that I have? And the reality of it is, I can't give you an answer to that question that's really going to resolve the issue that deep down you're trying to resolve, because you need to look at it from a bigger picture. You need to have the basic understanding of what your body needs. How is it designed to move? How is it feeling? Are you listening to your body? And can you understand why you are experiencing the issues that you're experiencing? So this is something that I really try and open the conversation about with my clients, because I'm giving them the program. Yes, we're assessing. Yes, we're giving them exactly what they need, but also they need to understand what they need. So then it becomes an open dialogue between me and the person I'm working with, and same that they can reciprocate that back to me. Because if I'm just telling them what to do and not empowering them with any kind of knowledge, any kind of information that they need to be able to take ownership themselves and start changing aspects of their life that may need to be changed, then I'm doing them a disservice. But also that person is still not reconnecting with what they need and listening to their body, and that is the most important. You need to have control over what it is that you need. You need to be able to ask the question of the professional that's helping you so that you can further understand and realize, yes, this is what my body needs. I'm listening to my own intuition and this is what it's telling me that I need. And that was huge for me, breaking free of, I need to just listen to what one person is telling me, what one research study is telling me, and just doing my own research and listening to my own body and realizing that if I'm sitting for 8 hours a day, then it's probably less likely that I'll feel good. So I need to take ownership of that and start giving my body what it needs, which is more movement throughout the day. Then when I do my training, when I follow the program that's designed to resolve some issues that I'm experiencing or some deficits that I have, then it becomes much more powerful. It works quicker, becomes much more impactful, and the results actually stick. Because I haven't followed a strict training program for the last couple of years now. It has been me experimenting with different things that work, different things that I feel my body needs, and then just developing on those capacities over time. And that's what's going to really set you free. That's what's really going to get you out of the cycle of injury that keeps coming back, the constant pain, the constant stiffness that just won't go away. And it's probably because you're so dependent on other people to tell you what you need. And again, you can seek the guidance, support, and help. I'm not saying don't go to a professional, but you need to have a baseline understanding of yourself. And you need to have that curiosity to be able to explore your movement, to have a desire to want to move, because that's what your body wants. And if you do really stop and listen, that's what your body is telling you. But we think that pain is caused by a specific point or a specific issue in the system, and we don't look at, okay, well, what am I doing in my daily life? Maybe it's not just my training. Maybe it is the fact that I don't move, I don't walk more than 5,000 steps a day. So you need to look at the bigger picture, and that's why I think movement sovereignty is so important, because you have that innate intelligence within you, and that is more powerful than any program that anyone's going to give you. But when combined with a program that's specific to what you need, then that can have huge results. So that's why for me it's so important to, number one, do the right stuff in your training and understand what things may not be so good for you in your training. But you need to have an intelligence outside of training and stop seeing your life as, this is my life where I just sit all day, where I don't think about movement. I don't think about the fact that I'm a human body that needs to move throughout the world, and I abide by certain biological rules and principles, and then training. These can't be two separate worlds. They need to all be one. So for me, I don't have my life and then my 1 hour of training. I just have movement throughout my day, and that makes my training much more enjoyable, makes my body feel much better, and it means that I'm no longer getting stuck in the cycle of, okay, I can push hard at my training and then, oh, I'm injured again, and this thing is bothering me again, and now I need to go all the way back to the start. So understanding that your body is not broken, you just need to give it different inputs, and you need to understand what inputs are going to give you certain types of outputs. So I guess this video overall is about sharing some thoughts on how you can take ownership, because you see so much out there about, yeah, take ownership over your body, take control, but you really need to stop. You really need to step back and be curious about understanding how your body is designed to move naturally, understanding where we've come from, and understanding how our modern world is so far away from what our bodies expect to experience on a daily basis. And if you can combine that with your training, so reclaim that sovereignty, reclaim that final say over your body based on an understanding, then that's going to bring you the results you want. Because at the end of the day, our default state is to move without pain, it's to move effortlessly, and it's to feel good in our bodies and to want to move. If you don't feel like you want to move consistently, if you're happy to sit on a couch all day, then there's probably a big issue there that needs to be looked at before you start diving into, you know, a sophisticated training program. You really need to get back to the basics. But this is just a topic I've been thinking about a lot, this idea of sovereignty, of empowerment, that you are the one who's in control. Okay, and me as a coach, I'm just a facilitator of helping you understand that better, giving you the tools that you need. But at the end of the day, it always comes back to you. And that was the biggest thing that really broke me out of the cycle of, you know, rehabbing and then getting back to optimal function, or like full level, going back to my sport and then ending up in the same cycle again. That was the big thing for me. And now for me, it's liberating, okay? That sovereignty, it's liberating, because I know now I'm not dependent on another person for how my body feels. I've done the research, I've experimented, I have the experience of knowing what my body needs and what makes it feel good on a regular basis. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Is this something anybody has ever spoken to you about? Is this something you've ever thought about? How is it you view movement and your body? Do you see your body as something that is separate from your life, your real life? That it's something to be fixed in that 1 hour gap that is outside of your life? It's like you're taking out time out of your life to do this thing called rehab, called movement, or is movement actually part of your experience of life? I'd love to hear. I'd love to open up the conversation and see your experience on this and how it's impacted you. So drop a comment below, let me know your experiences, and yeah, I'd love to hear. Also, right beside the comments is the like and subscribe buttons. So make sure you subscribe to get more updated on more videos like this, to join more coffee talk times about all things ancestral movement, natural movement, and how can we optimize our bodies to eliminate pain for good once and for all. So that's the goal of the channel. So looking forward to opening the conversations down below. And that's it for this one. It was just a nice, easy conversation. I hope it sparked some inspiration in you and some thoughts. But that's it for this, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.